The man with the best hair in the final of the 200-meter individual medley at the 2024 World Aquatics Championships in Doha, Qatar, Mr. Shaine Casas, swam a time of 1 minute and 57.73 seconds in the final of the 200-meter individual medley men's on Thursday, 15 February 2024. I am filming this on Thursday, 15 February 2024, but I'm in a different part of the world. Northern suburbs of Seattle, King County, Washington State, United States of America. Planet Earth, the original. Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. All right. Representing. With his time, he achieved 5th place. I provide my take / perspective on his performance and contextualize it in terms of the racing strategy he implemented for the final, as well as why I am linking my English Wikipedia announcement videos and some of these athletic performance contextualization videos. Yes, I promised that. And I gave one reason, but I'll get the other reason. Yes. Okay. So, first up. It looks like he actually did what I did in the racing strategy I laid out, which was conserve a little energy on the breaststroke, go like 80% instead of 100% on the breaststroke. So the breaststroke time then would slow down a little bit, which he did, relative to yesterday's semifinal performance, which I made an athletic performance contextualization for. And then he his freestyle should speed up, and it did, relative to that day. And yeah, because he was a 30 in the freestyle yesterday. So he did well. His time was a little bit slower, but the strategy I kind of laid out, he did. I would be curious from his perspective. So, did he consciously kind of even it out? I would call it evening out the backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle a little bit. Taking it from kind of like this to so kind of dampening it. So if it's a vibrating string, we take and we make the amplitude smaller. We're dampening it. Okay, sorry. Background in geology and geophysics and mathematics. So shorten the amplitude to get a different output. I'd be curious to get his perspective on how it felt in terms of energy levels compared to the semifinals performance. Because it's, less than 0.2 slower than the performance yesterday. So I would say less than 0.2 of a second. Does it not feel good or feel better, but does it feel like energy levels are less depleted kind of at each segment of the race and on the whole than the performance from yesterday? So the 200-meter individual medley semifinals. As time progresses, these videos won't be yesterday anymore, kind of thing. Or if he's watching this, right, it's already 2 days ago for him. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi. It's my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi. I'm Tanis Leonhardi. It's my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi. So then if you did it, how are energy levels at each kind of stage? We're going to say that the 50s as well as on the whole. And if the energy levels are not as depleted as the semifinals performance, there we go, then try and apply, if he's been watching my YouTube videos, apply from step 1 on my 1 mile run or my 4 mile run or whatever I'm doing, where I do the baseline improvement, do the step 1, which one could think of in a different way as if it's 90%, 70%, 80%, 90%, and then do 90.5%. Do a 0.5% increase in terms of energy output. But a way to achieve that with faster times is a step 1. So just think of it as I guess, and so then the cognition space is okay, the physical output is faster, but what does that mean in terms of trying to preserve that energy level that's not as depleted, if that was the case? Then kind of a stronger approach to it, as opposed to the percentage increase being faster. It's a strengthening approach. Okay. So that's if his energy levels were feeling less depleted, which would be excellent if that was true, because it means he can improve. I enjoy coming up with a racing strategy like that personally for myself. It'd be really cool if that he implemented my racing strategy and it was true for him, because it's I would call it's one of the first checks that a person still has, or myself, because I'm talking about myself, that I still have the capacity to be faster than I am. So in a speed sport, that'd be like, or perform better for self-improvement in a speed sport, like output faster time. So it's in that sense, it's a reality check of, it can be scary doing something like that. Because what if it's like way slower, but if it's not much slower, then it's like, no, this is an alternative pathway for getting faster, is working on this strategy and a baseline shift. So there we go. So that's the racing strategy. And I thought my 5th place finish was good. Last year he was 4th. So there you go. And okay, and then the second part, why I am linking an announcement video for the corresponding new English Wikipedia article. I have put out a number of eating videos, and I've noticed in the food eating arena specifically, a lot of YouTube videos go for new products or first times, which isn't uncommon for like sports either, right? People want to be the first to publish. That's not part of my business model. Okay. So I would consider the best way for me to really concisely explain it is it's a not new disclaimer of sorts. It's trying to be like, put time and effort in to making sure this person was announced to this channel in the past. So even if they were introduced to this channel before that announcement video, the announcement video was kind of a catch-all. So just put it there. So that way, like some people, if you've been around, you might remember the person, right? So it's helpful to be like, no, okay, I did remember that, right? This person has been mentioned on this channel before, right? So there's kind of a memory component to that as well, is like, and some people might not remember, right? But for those who do, kind of assisting either way, like while the race or the performance or whatever may be new to the channel, the person is not. So I do not want to, when there's a mass of videos that are created in the vein of new products or first times or stuff like that, I'm trying to be very like market aware of when a lot, you know, let's say 90% of the videos go that way. I want to make it clear that mine's not that, right? Which, because I'm in especially if it was like those numbers, make it clear that I'm in this minority over here that's like, wait, no, I'm just sticking with the same thing, right? I'm like, right, so just, right, the person might not even see it or anything like that, but like, trying to reduce the chance of confusion, I guess, in that sense, with being confused with other people's marketing, or conceptualization or approaches to YouTube videos. Okay. And then for contrast, my business model is kind of, I like boring things, which kind of means sticking with the same thing. So it takes me like, yeah, it's different. Okay, so just making sure that it comes across that it's not new. Okay, and then the second reason, so that was the one I already covered today. The second one is date grouping, relatively easy to find. I mentioned that I make these people Wikipedia pages. That's not helpful for like, when did I make the page, right? So by putting in information about when I filmed the video and the like grouping that the video covered is a way of being like, and instead of like being like the exact date I made the page, and I put thought into grouping them into, be it a year or 2 months or 3 or more months or whatever for the announcement video. All right, it gives you an idea of when the page was created, and if you want the exact date, you can click on the video, and it's in the video description, right? For the corresponding announcement video. So there's more information if you want to. So I guess in that sense, you can think of it as it's an making information accessible that may be of interest to you and or me, right? It's good to remember, like, okay, I did remember correctly that I made this person's page in 2021, or I made this 2 months later than I thought I did. It's like good for me as well, just to be like, yeah, when was it? And it's like, also easing the pressure off of myself a little bit of remembering the exact date. No, I grouped them, I lumped them, I chose pages, kind of thinking about that, you know, kind of thing. So making the date, the grouping date relatively easy to find, and then providing an easy access means to, if you want the exact date, you can click through, kind of thing. So there you go. So that's my take on the Shaine Casas 200 meter individual medley, time of 1 minute and 57.73 seconds from 15 February 2024.